A young man lives with his stepmother at home because his father went on military service. Unfortunately, when they were alone at home, a closeness and an unusual relationship emerged between the young man and his stepmother, whom he initially hated, until one day the young man was determined to do something because he felt he deserved to be loved. In a settlement lived a young man named Alan, still a teenager, maybe around 20 years old or more. Almost every day his sleep was disturbed by the noise coming from his father and stepmother's room. Alan even recorded how long they made the noise in his notebook. Alan has a father who is still active in the military. Almost every day Alan is treated like he is in a military barracks. Starting from waking up in the morning to eating is arranged similar to army life. Besides that, Alan lives with his stepmother named Edna, even though she is only a stepmother. Edna feels that Alan should not be treated like that by his father. He still needs attention and guidance like a teenager in general. That day, Alan will be left by his father to go to the military barracks for a few days. Alan was ordered to obey every word of Edna, but Alan had time to argue because Edna was not his mother. There was a small dispute there, but Edna reconciled them. Alan could not replace his mother figure with Edna. For him, it was very distant and unbalanced. Because of that incident, Edna probably felt that her days might be difficult with Alan, especially when Edna was about to leave. Her car broke down and wouldn't start. Edna tried to ask Alan for help to check her car, but at that time, Edna saw Alan doing something in his room. Alan was in puberty and wanted to know more, so it was a natural thing to do. In the end, Edna asked Alan to check the car. Alan did not have much experience with automotive, but Edna asked her husband to give Alan a chance to prove that Alan could. Alan was scolded by his father to stay away from the car and leave it to the experts, but Edna still believed in Alan to fix the car. Even though Edna failed, she still supported him. Then one day, Edna's leg was sprained because of a wrong step. Alan helped her by giving her a little massage on Edna's leg, and that's where the closeness between them appeared. Alan slowly began to accept Edna in his life. That night, Alan was watching television in the living room. Edna came to join him. At first, they just chatted casually about what happened that afternoon and other things, until the conversation became very deep. Then Alan got the chance to get closer to Edna. There, Edna just realized that it was the first time for Alan. Since then, Alan has become more enthusiastic in doing activities. He also bought car spare parts and began to find problems in his car. Not only that, their closeness and relationship slowly deepened, but maybe this was a bit too much. Alan didn't realize that he loved his own stepmother. One day, Alan came home with flowers for Edna, but he heard Edna's voice with his father in the room. It turned out his father had come home from work, so it made Alan upset. But Alan didn't care. He dared to come to Edna and seemed to invite her again. Unfortunately, Edna refused because Alan was too far away, especially since his father was at home. Edna reflexively slapped Alan until he bled. Alan's father came, but they pretended there was only a small accident. That afternoon, Alan was invited by his father to go fishing using a boat on the lake. Here, Alan wanted to kill his father using a knife, but he changed his mind when his father said that he was sorry and loved him. What he did to Alan was simply to discipline him as a man. Then, during dinner, Alan recklessly returned by taking his father's gun and pointing it at him. Alan expressed his feelings. He admitted that he had done something inappropriate with Edna, even though they loved each other. But Edna denied it, and her father slowly tried to calm Alan down and stop him from doing anything reckless. Alan also lowered his gun, and they continued their dinner together, accompanied by prayer. That's the storyline of the short film Sub Rosa. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and see you later.